So I forgot my mic. Sorry about the noise. I hope you can hear me. Let me check. I just checked the audio and it's surprisingly very cool. Go Apple. And I'm filming this from like a 13. So this video is about 12 things that happened in 2025 and it was a rough ass year, okay? It was so fucking bad. Yeah, I mean I cannot describe 2025 without cussing. Like it was shit as fuck. Hindi mein bolu to फट गई भाई. But we moved to Goa. I don't know if Goa has anything to do with it. I don't think so. Now towards the end of the year things have started getting better. Wow. So I don't think it's Goa. It was the year of the snake. The girlies who get it. So okay, I'll start. The first thing that happened in 2025 is that we moved twice this year and we are on to our third time house hunting. So the first shift that we made was from Noida to Agonda in South Goa and then from Agonda to Vagator in May. Then now we have to move somewhere else in North Goa because our neighbors are not cat friendly and they've threatened us that they'll kill our cats, poison them or shoot them or something like that. We can't risk that. And also the stray dogs here are so fucking... The stray dogs are murderers over here, okay? They have killed so many of our cats and kittens. So that brings me to the second thing that happened. We lost 3 cats. We lost Maya, we lost Pepsi and we lost Dora. Maya went missing and we spoke to an animal communicator as well and multiple animal communicators actually, and all of them told us that Maya is liking the outdoors. She's loving the beach and she's loving Goa. So 1 month after we moved to Goa, Maya left and she's been having fun apparently. Pepsi was killed by the dogs. The day we moved from South Goa to North Goa, same night Pepsi was murdered, and that's how we knew dogs here are going to be a problem. And then Dora went missing and she never came back. The third one is we had a lot of kittens. We had like 24 cats at one point in our house because all of the cats gave birth. Before you come at me about why did I not get my cats spayed, so in Noida they were all indoor cats, okay? So we got all of the males neutered so we don't have any more babies. But then when we came to Goa, they became indoor-outdoor cats and they started to go out and roam around and all of them fucked around and got pregnant. So then they gave babies all at the same time. And then we have like 24 kittens. It's funny now, but it was so fucking stressful at the time to have 24 cats. And it's like, it sounds cute optically, it looks cute, but to be in that position is so fucking hard. So we got them adopted all across the country, in Lucknow, in Noida, in Gurgaon, in Delhi, in Goa. There was some prospects from Pune and Mumbai and Kolkata and Gujarat, but we couldn't manage that transportation. But yeah, so we got a lot of kittens adopted all over the country, and then we also lost a lot of kittens. They passed away. Yeah. Before is we got all of our female cats also spayed. Finally. Don't come to me if you want to adopt a cat because I'm not gonna have any kittens anymore, baby. Ending the cat topic now. Number 5 is that Rohit and I started couples therapy because all of this stress with the cats and the moving and then the career fluctuations with Rohit and all of these deaths, it got a little too much. So much that it started affecting our relationship as well because it was affecting us personally and then we were kind of projecting onto each other and it just started getting worse and worse and worse and worse. And then we finally decided that we're gonna start couples therapy and yeah, things have been better. Looking forward to grow with him. So the next one is that we hosted both of our parents and Simran, my sister, and my brother in Goa. So we have hosted our immediate family, so that feels great. Number 7, travel to Agra, I traveled to Uttarakhand, I traveled to Kashmir, I will travel to Bangalore. Agra I went for a friend's wedding, Uttarakhand I went for a cousin's wedding, Kashmir I went with family, then I went to Bangalore twice for work. Number 8, had a friendship fallout and it was like I am in high school again, but the stakes are higher because my professional reputation was on the line. It was rough. But I think everybody had a friendship fallout this year. I'm glad that happened. Learned some lessons about boundaries, about how much you allow people in your life, how important communication is actually, you know. One of the biggest realization out of that, people pleasing may look like you are being this mahan person, but it's actually manipulative. So I took a lesson from that as well, because I also am a recovering people pleaser. I have started voicing my needs more. That brings me to number 9, that I learned to prioritize myself and not feel guilty about treating myself with respect and kindness. I am not shy about voicing my needs anymore. If something's off, I'm not dealing with that shit. I'm trying. I'm not that good yet, but I'm trying. Number 10 is also very important. In one of the weddings that I attended this year, I had to face my sexual abuser that harassed me as a child. I was 13 years old at the time, and he was my mama. I'm 29 now. This is my last year in my 20s, and I basically spent my entire 20s trying to get over this shit. I have been in therapy for the last 4 years because of the anxiety attacks and the panic attacks I used to get at night because of this fucking asshole, fucking pedophile who gets supported by the entire family, who still gets respect and invited into rooms where he should not be. I cannot control how people treat him. Unfortunately, there are a lot of enablers and a lot of pedophiles in my extended family. Unfortunately, I had to face him and all of those people who enable him and support him and isolate me and have made me the black sheep. So yeah, I was able to face him. That was the end of my anxiety attacks. I've never had an anxiety attack or a panic attack ever since, because I held my ground. I didn't skip the wedding. I went there, stayed strong, and overcame that trauma. That is my biggest achievement of this year, okay? That is my biggest achievement of this year, okay? Number 11, I started working out. It's been over a month, 5 days a week, and I'm taking care of my nutrition, having spinach and mushroom toast with oats smoothie, nut smoothie. Number 12, the last one, is that I actually identified disbalance in my relationships. I'm still working on it, but I identified disbalance in some relationships where I was putting the effort and it was not being reciprocated, and then there were some relationships where I was not putting effort and they were just, I was taking and not giving anything, and here I was giving and not getting anything. So I was able to identify that disbalance, and now I'm working on like reciprocating my energy where it needs to go, and like having conversations if it's important, or distancing myself from these relationships where I'm not getting the same energy. Alright, that was the video. I'm gonna finish my meal now, and right now I am in a cafe reflecting on 2025, and that's how I came up with these points. Yeah, I'll see you in the next one.